Without a heater, as I said, your normal operating pressure is going to be between 10 and 14 pounds. If you've got a heater, basically add 6 to 8 pounds. That's going to increase it someplace around 20, 22. Ours happens to be running about 21. When you see this pressure gauge go up to 10 pounds above normal operating pressure, what it originally started at, what that means is your filter has become dirty, clogged with the dirt that is taken out of the pool, and it needs to be backwashed. Very simply, we shut our pump off. Roll out our collapsible backwash line. And as I said, pump has got to be off before we move this valve. We simply push down, move this valve to backwash, and turn the pump back on. Cut. As you'll see, the water is going to be quite murky when it comes out of the backwash line. Give it time, somewhere around 30 seconds to a minute, and as you'll see, the water clears. Cut. Next, once the water has cleared, we'll shut our pump back off through the timer, come back over here, switch our multi-port valve to recirculate. This is, or excuse me, rinse. This is where that rinse selection comes in. What that does is basically run some clean water through the head here. We'll run it on that for 5 to 10 seconds is all the more you're going to need. And then we're going to come back over to filter. At that point in time, we turn our pump back on, let it run for maybe 20 seconds, and repeat the entire process again. Backwash twice. It's something you're only going to have to do, even though you've got a lot of neighbors that say, geez, I backwash my filter once a week. This one does not need to be backwashed once a week. It is not a sand filter. This is a diatomaceous earth filter. So if you've got to go through that process twice, don't let that alarm you. If you're not backwashing for 3 months, maybe once a summer is all, don't let that alarm you either. We tell anybody it's going to be, on the average, from 3 weeks to 1 year before you're going to need to backwash. So there's not a lot of maintenance to this filter. But anyways, you repeated that process twice now and backwashed it, rinsed it, and went back to filter twice, via turning the pump on in between each stage. We started running again, but basically what we've done is we've backwashed the dirt out of here, as well as our filtrate. Our filtrate is a diatomaceous earth that has to be re-added every time. Just prior to re-adding that earth, there's an air valve on the back of this filter, just a thumb screw. Open it up until you see water come out of the top. I'll do it one more time for you. A little water coming out of the top. What that does is ensures that we've gotten all the air out of this filter before we re-add our DE to it, which collects on these grids inside here. What the DE does when we reintroduce it into the skimmer, which I'm going to show you in just a second, is it collects on a series of grids inside the filter, which are a fabric type, and this white fine powder, what it does is it collects on it, and it just builds a fine layer over the top of it, and that actually becomes your filter media, what actually takes the dirt out. And what we do is we come over to our skimmer. Here we have our diatomaceous earth. Here I have a 2-pound coffee can. On an 1836, you're going to figure 7 1-pound coffee cans. On a 20 by 40, you're going to figure 9 1-pound coffee cans is what you're going to reintroduce to your skimmer to recharge your filter. This is every time you backwash. Okay, so I have to have 7 1-pound cans, which is basically 112 ounces. So if you've got a 2-pound, 3-ounce can, do some simple math and you'll get right there. Very basic. We sift it into the skimmer with the pump running. Valve position isn't important as long as you do have the skimmer open so you can suck this material in. So very basic. I'm going to put 3½ of these 2-pound cans in. And as you can see through our pipe here, you can see the DE on its way up into the filter, as well as in the pump basket. What you should notice is that your operating pressure on the pressure gauge has gone back down to normal. This should last you another 2 to 3 weeks to a year, depending on your pool situation and environment around you. Moving right along, I guess we can finish up on the multi-port valve.